With us now, we have Piet Opstaele, the innovation lead of Port of Antwerp. He's here to present Drones Open Innovation. Open innovation platform to accelerate the development and testing of the drone technology. Results will be explained during the presentation. Thank you.
Hello, good morning everybody. For some of you it's the second round, but I will bring another story than the first one. So I'm Piet, work in the Port of Antwerp. I think about 3 years ago we started about innovation in a broad sense, focused mainly on technology innovation. Do you hear me? Because I hear a lot of noise around me. Is it okay? Okay. We started working on technology innovation because today, or already for a while, a lot of innovation is possible. Innovation is only a means to something, but we focused on some technologies, in total 10. I presented half an hour ago about digital twin. Now I will do that on drones. But actually at that moment, the idea came also up that we should, in a period of accelerating technology, should be much more open and bringing in technology companies also in the port business, because the port business needs technology to make that digital transition possible. So, but first, a short introduction on the Port of Antwerp itself. Looking from an innovation point of view, there are a few challenges. First of all, it's the area. It's 120 square kilometers. It's one of the largest port areas in the world, 6 times the city of Antwerp. And that's a challenge, because the activities going there, a lot of activities around. There is a big, the second largest chemical hub in the world is there. So you have a lot of processes and activities going around. So being, as a port authority, being able to monitor that in an efficient way is important. And we can and we should use technology for that. Another one, nobody is living inside the port. Every day, 60,000 people are coming in and out of the port. So they're looking to safety, security, but also mobility is an important element. And we have a lot of companies active in the port. So one of the ideas also, if everybody has to go through that learning curve, because some technologies are complex. If you talk about AI, artificial intelligence, everybody say, oh, what's that? And indeed, you have machine vision, you have your deep learning, and so on. There are different aspects on. But if every company in the port, and I think that in general, has to go through that learning curve, what is that technology? Which are the good companies? Should I do a proof of concept? Should I do a proof of value? Should I do a pilot? That will take an enormous amount of effort and time. So as a port authority, we try to facilitate that, to say, hey guys, we will do that, and we choose some technologies which can be relevant for the port operations, for the port business. And we will help you in making that transition. And actually, I told you already 2 years ago, the idea came up of that innovation platform. It's not the best name. If somebody has a better one, because people say innovation platform, it's a kindergarten, or is it a play field, a living lab? No, it's about business, because innovation is about creating new value. It's creating new business of the future. If you don't believe in that, and that's a little bit sometimes the connotation which is made with open innovation platform, people think these guys are just playing. Okay? Every day I say to my team, where is the value? If we cannot show the value, it's over, it stops. I experienced that in my previous life, because there it was in fast-moving consumer electronics, navigation systems, and there every 4 years the market completely changed, completely. Siemens Video, Blaupunkt, they just lost in 1 year time 50% market share. There was only one reason: lack of innovation. But okay, that's for another time. Next year I will bring that story. But in the port business, and in Antwerp specifically, what do we have? As a port authority, we have 1.6 billion euro of assets in the port. Bridges, locks, buildings, so assets. We are in a period of fast evolving technology, exponential growth of technology. You should not underestimate that. But, there's a big difference between linear growth and exponential growth. So today, we are in the last 5 to 10 years, and if you look to AI, exponential growth of technology. I think innovation is too much approached from a problem point of view. What are your problems? I will solve your problem. That's maybe good, but you only make small steps, baby steps, ad hoc solutions. What we believe is you should think, look to your platform, look to your resources, to your assets, to your people, and what's the potential of that platform, and use that. And the last one is about platform thinking. Today we are very much still in a product pipeline economy. I think in the future, the companies who will survive will companies who will organize themselves in networks, on platforms, because it's proven. Harvard Business Review, if you do that, your product development and your go-to-market is 10 times faster than if you do it on yourself. I always say, 2 people are always smarter than 1, always. So organize yourself in networks. So based on that idea, we came up with a quite extreme statement more than about 3 years ago. Let's open the port for everybody, technology companies in the first place. Everybody is welcome. Do your thing, and we see what's happening. Must be fantastic if you can do that. Just say technology, here, develop your products, test your products, bring them to operational level, and you have a great, in size, you have a massive platform available for you. Of course, you cannot organize that. It would be chaos. Probably within 2 days, your locks will not open anymore. So we choose actually 3 topics to work on, and it's drones, smart shipping, and air quality. Because we believe these are technologies which are fast evolving, but which you can also create a lot of value for the port and can bring that operational improvements, efficiency, but also bring a safer environment, more secure environment into the port. Coming to this slide here, how do we do that? And in that way, it's very nice to work for a port authority because we own these assets. So we can support technology companies in providing hard infrastructure, hardware. I'll give you the example on smart shipping. There we provide a dock where technology companies can do testing of smart ships, autonomous ships, in all safety. It can be digital infrastructure, and that could be data, or that could be a communication network. For the drone project we did, Proximus, the Belgium, one of the Belgian telecom operators, they installed 2 new pylons because these drones are flying on 90 meters, and a 4G network normally only reach 40 meters. So we provided infrastructure to these drone companies. And last but not least, processes, because that's sometimes forgotten. If you introduce new technology, you should also define which process will be used. Because if tomorrow a smart ship is coming to the port of Antwerp, an unmanned ship, it will be a completely different process than it is today. Why? There is no captain anymore. So it's not a captain, you have to move 5 meters left or right. No, it will be a completely different process. So that's a little bit as an introduction. Why are we working on drones? I think we are working on about 2 years, a little bit less than that, because we believe that drones still need a big development. I think the hardware is there for most of the parts, but if you look to the applications, there are a lot of companies active on that. There are a lot of drone companies, by the way. I think in Belgium, 500, in France, 6,000, in the UK, 7,000. So, I don't know, in China, maybe, I don't know, 10, I don't know. Probably in the world, there are 50, 100,000 companies every day building new solutions, new technology on drones. So forget about it, that you can capture that knowledge. And that's the reason that you say, hey guys, come to us. We are an open innovation platform. Bring solutions. We will not look for solutions. Bring solutions. So we think 1.5 years ago, we listed up what are the potential use cases for drones in a port. And we ended up with more than 40 use cases. And that's about 3D mapping, it's about oil spill detection, security, depth measurements even, quality measurements, air quality measurements, water quality. So you have stock inventorization. So you have so many potential use cases that we say we should leverage on that technology. One of the big projects there was the Sapphire project. There's a new European-sponsored project where, you know, in Europe, the drone legislation is still organized per country. So Spain, France, Belgium has their own drone legislation. As a Spanish pilot, you cannot fly in Belgium, you need a homologation. So too complex, very cumbersome for a technology where they predict that by 2030 there will be, in the city of Paris, 25,000 flights a day. Amazon says if 1% of our deliveries will be done by drones, then we talk about 100 million flights a year. So it's a technology which has a massive potential acceleration. So we are in that country-related legislation, and Europe say we should come as fast as possible to European legislation, so that also Spanish pilot can fly in Belgium and the other way around. And for that, they set up that project, and that was a consortium of 6-7 companies. So the telecom operator was there. We had Skies, which is the airspace management system operator in Belgium. We had Unifly, a startup who is developing software for airspace management for drones. And you see that innovation is even having influence on manned aviation, because today some operators are looking to use the drone airspace management system for manned aviation, because manned aviation, I don't know the details, but it's still technology from the 80s. So these guys, they need a major if somebody from the business, we can discuss, but they need a major technology upgrade. And you see there from a new business coming in, drones that can happen from there. So the European, also, not to forget, also Amazon joined that project. Why? They say, yeah, but for us it's important to see how that is working. If you put multiple drones at the same time in a complex operational environment, because the Port of Antwerp, we have the highest concentration of Cveso companies in Europe. So there is a lot of restrictions and safety regulations necessary there. We have here the airport of Antwerp. It's a small airport, but okay. So that's the entrance here to that airport. Of course, we have the city. So we say to the project, hey guys, we are your guest. Please come to the Port of Antwerp and do there your testing. So the testing happened actually 6 weeks ago. So at that moment, the initial target was to have 15 flights at the same time within 2 hours to see how these things are interacting. Because you need, if something goes wrong, you need to be able to interfere and so on. I can assure you it was a preparation for more than 1 year to get all approval. Horrible stories. The minister has to sign actually in own responsibility, to take responsibility if something goes wrong. Only 2 hours before we were starting, but with these projects, these kinds are happening. So here you see one of the a few of the flight trajects lines which were happening. So we learned a lot of that. Amazon was combining their airspace management with the one of Unifly and see how they can be combined and interact so that new drone flights can be used. So I think maybe the weather, and there you see the sensitivity of drones. The weather was not very comfortable. There was a lot of wind, 4 or 5 before, and there was a lot of rain that day we did the testing. So instead of 15 flights, we could do only 10. But okay, that's also a learning process. If you see that some drones, it's hard to fly above 5 before, yeah, that's a takeaway. But as such, the project was a success, and I think the report has been made now. So, and Europe, that's a new space program. Europe will now, next year, release the first version of their legislation. And by the way, it's a good example where everybody says about innovation. Not possible. Why? Yeah, the law doesn't allow and too much regulation, blah, blah, blah. It's a very good example where legislation is pushing innovation. Because it's Europe who say, hey guys, you need to do these tests, what the behavior is of these drones at the same time. So we can learn out of that, and we can build and create a decent legislation, European legislation. So I think it's one of the few examples I know, but I think it's a very good example where legislation is pushing innovation. So what we, and being an open innovation platform, what we also did is say, hey guys, because you need a command control center, we had a building which was not used, which was equipped with 6 of these seats, fully connected and fully redundant with a lot of screens and so on. So for 1 week, that was the control center where all these startups and companies were working in preparation and execution of the different flights. You see here, for instance, some screenshots how the airspace is working. It was really exciting to see there 30, 40 people working together on that project. I will give you a small movie. It's in Dutch, but there are English subtitles on the results of the project. Yeah, the movie is taking 3 or 4 minutes. So what you see is the different drone companies presenting their solutions. So here you see one of Amazon. Every drone had a tracker. Of course, you should be able to identify where the drone is. Yeah, it's
for some reason, I think we can't hear the sound of the video. Just a second.
The César Sapphire flying demonstrations here to demonstrate UTM and airspace integration for drones, drone technologies, and we're flying over the river, over the port in various different scenarios.
What you can see over here are the several screens that we will be using. Of course, this is regarding the cameras in the harbor itself for security reasons. Next to that we have the Meteo, where we can follow rain and wind. This is the Unifly system. You can already see something happening. Those are manned aircraft that are in the vicinity. So this is a bit the entire setup we have, and show the ecosystem of USpace and Unifly working in an actual live environment.
The steering radar. It's an L-band system here, and it's designed to actually illuminate an area in front of us to be able to see all the things which are in its field of view. So this screen here is now showing the live tracks which the radar is reporting. It's looking over a 90 degree, and in that 90 degree it is showing all the tracks it is able to see here. And here in this project here, we're really excited. There are a whole host of very relevant scenarios which are being flown, and we will see how quickly the radar is able to identify the drone and be able to report it.
What will happen later on today is that we will create a no drone zone area by simulating a chemical accident. It means that the flight which is ongoing here from Seastral will not be able to return because it will be blocked by the no drone zone, and that the Amazon delivery flight by itself will reroute itself to get back to its landing spot. Another flight that will happen today is the flight from Explicit, and they will perform an inspection flight in the harbor.
What we do is we fly the UAV into the plume from the vessel. You have then the smoke being sucked in here, the plume exhaust into this chamber where you analyze it using 4 different gas sensor data. Transmit all the data to the GCS. After 20 seconds you have the results, and immediately we can contact the authorities if it's a non-compliant vessel that we measure. So this is the graph showing the measurement of the plume. Here we fly from clean air directly into the plume from the vessel, stay there for 30 seconds to get a good steady signal, and here we fly out again. We do the analysis, 0.09, which is below the limit, so it's a compliant vessel. We do a report with all the data. Authority can log on and get the reports, and if they want to be notified with non-compliant vessels, we can do it here as well.
And this way we can monitor the exhaust of the vessels and see if they are compliant with the rules.
And another flight today will be the flight from TechEver,
where we want to test all the systems and the integration with the UTM and to see what is out there in the water.
It's the whole inspection flight you see here in the Antwerp docks. So it's an inspection flight above the docks for oil spill monitoring, waste monitoring in the harbor. So that's it for today.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe we could, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you had a full version. I thought it would be a shorter one, but okay, I've been talking too much. So I think that's actually my story. I don't know if it's maybe time for one or two questions. If you have any.
Perhaps we could ask the questions later on, and you're obviously available today as well. Please come and talk to him when you have a chance.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.